Welcome to Secrets from the Saddle podcast. I'm Sylvie, your host, fellow cyclist, bike club founder, cycling coach, bike race junkie, just truly super passionate about cycling. My journey with cycling started 20 years ago when I opened a spin studio, started a women's race team, and founded a women's only cycling club called Cycle Fit Chicks. I'm super thrilled to reveal all aspects that make the world of cycling operate. I'm so excited to be able to bring you interesting people from around the world, pro cyclists, recreational cyclists, coaches, event organizers, bike shop owners, everything and everyone you need to know or ever wondered about when it comes to cycling. I know you'll enjoy this episode. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Secrets from the Saddle, all things cycling podcast with your host, Sylvie Doe, as Coach Sylvie. And this is Friday, your coaching segment. We are going to talk about how to lose that extra 5-10 pounds, right? Maybe you got on the bike and you're like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do to lose weight. Well, before we get into it, I have 4 different things that we're going to talk about. But before we get into all those things that's going to help you lose 5-10 plus pounds, let's just say what an amazing episode that was with Jenny True. Oh my God, I love that girl. I just had to say that. And also a big shout out that it was her birthday on that day. And now, dang, I wanted to shout out to a guy that I raced with, I raced with last weekend at the Gravel Cup Canada. And he was riding in our little Peloton group at the front of the 40K. Now, he wasn't able to, he kind of stuck with us. Yes, he did. He stuck with us. We were a pack of 5. So 3 guys and 2 girls. So you know what that means, right? Big sprint for the finish. Which happened, and I came second. Oh, well, I can't always win everything. I knew it was going to be a sprint to the end. And, yeah, so we were talking at the finish line, and one of the guys is like, hey, are you Sylvie Doe? I was like, yeah. And he's like, I listened to your podcast. And I'm like, oh my God. He's like, I've been listening to you for a while now, and I love your episodes. They're so great. They're so diverse. And I'm like, I just want to shout you out. Thank you very much, Adam Frank. You know, because it's really cool when you meet somebody who actually has been listening to you for almost a year. He picked up on the episode that I did about the Gravel Cup Canada last January with Brandon, and he's been listening ever since. So thanks a lot. A shout out to you. I want to give you, hopefully you'll listen to this one. And also we have been talking about winter training. What are you doing to train this winter? Now, if you have serious goals, like you had an amazing summer, you've been watching all these gravel events like I have, and you're like, yeah, this is what I want to train for next year. It is so important to get some sort of structure in behind you, and also skills. Skills, my friend, will take you up those gravel hills before you know it, down them. Pedal stroke efficiency, being more effective on your bike, economy, all those great things will come with somebody coaching you. And I want to invite you to look at my winter cycling program by texting the word cycling to 819-809-0999. So text the word cycling. It will land you. You will get some text messages, and our membership is going to be opening soon. So it's a monthly subscription. You can start at any time, but you get a 50% off for the month of October. We start officially in November because even here in Canada, depending on the weather, as in the past, a lot of us still cycle through October. And then we get on like November's when everything starts getting cold and rainy and snowy. So that's when majority of us migrate inside, but you never know. I'm starting early because there are some people who just want to get on the bike earlier. So 50% off the first month, which starts October. And then we get right into it. It incorporates Swift. So you have to have Swift, you have to have a bike trainer. And I put in the schedule 3 times a week. So the most important one is coaching with me on cycling skills. The other one, which is a Thursday night, if you can't make it because of your time schedule, it'll be recorded. You'll get the recording so you can do it on your own. And then joining the group ride on the weekend as per usual, and then a higher intensity workout once a week. So as aging athletes, this is so important for improvement and progress and performance, is to get that one intense workout in. Like the night that we train together, it's more coaching. So you are going to take that coaching session and you're going to apply it throughout the winter months in your cycling. So you will be learning as you go and putting into practice what I'll be coaching you. And the difference between that and getting a cycling coach is a cycling coach online is just going to give you a workout based on what your goals are. What we're going to do is I'm going to be able to evaluate you as per what you need. And also, like, everybody needs to improve cycling skills, period. I have seen like any one person who can't be tweaked in some way, but it's the most important thing is to avoid overdoing it in the winter, which a lot of people do. They get onto all these Swift tours and they overtrain, the group rides with friends and yada, yada, yada. And then they come out super tired and overtrained for the spring. And that's not the point. So we're going to work people and get them to 100K by April, May for sure. And so building up your endurance base, you're sitting on the saddle, you're going to be a rock star when the spring hits. So if this interests you, it's about being consistent in getting 4 to 6 hours a week. So for a lot of us who are working, who have families, this is attainable with your weekend ride, and you shouldn't be overwhelmed by having to do more. So if you get a little extra time, we'll help you add those in. So text the word cycling to 819-809-0999, and you'll be sent the invitation to get 50% off the subscription. It's a monthly subscription. It's way cheaper than what I've ever charged. But I just wanted to make this more accessible to more people online, and it stops when the program stops. So it has a lifespan. It goes for the duration of the coaching, which is up till April. So you check that out. And let's get back into what we're really going to talk about. And that is how to lose an easy 5 to 10 pounds. Now, I know as a cycling coach that we see a lot of people immediately decide to get fit. And there needs to be some process to that decision. You can't just decide to get off the couch one day. You've been sedentary for like 10 years or 5 years or 2 years and go run a marathon or go join an Ironman event. Like, that's ridiculous. Don't do that. If you're looking at my eyes, don't do it, because you are going to wreck your body. You're going to wreck your life, because it takes a lot of training that you are not ready for, and neither is your family. So yes, when you decide, and a lot of people just go straight up, decide to go straight to cardio, right? There's no other thing. They don't think about eating healthy. They don't think about sleeping or nutrition or any of that. It's just like, okay, I've decided to get healthy. I'm going to start running. I'm going to start biking. I'm going to start. But there really needs to be a plan. And if you have an aspiration to do a big, even like a big cycling event, like a Grand Fondo, you never been on the bike, you go and bike 180K. How do you think your body's going to feel? How do you think your ass is going to feel? Not good. So it's important to sit down and plan what you're going to do. And that means, just deciding on an event or a goal. And then how are you going to go about doing it? Because those extra 5-10 pounds, I'm talking at the end. Like those are the hard ones. Because if you're going to get off the couch and start getting active, yeah, you are going to lose weight. But you're not going to get down to your desired weight because that requires a lot more work. That requires eating properly. You can't just change you could change your habits, but if you're really going to do the full thing and have a healthy life, it means changing your life and maybe even changing your friends around you so that you have the ones that are going to support you, not drag you down. Now, the first one is eating. And I was just talking about nutrition. Eating properly, eating for eating, like, let me just rephrase that. Changing up your current nutritional habits. Let's say you used to drink a lot of pop. Start drinking water. You're going to go through that phase where you're going to have a withdrawal. You're going to know that. It's same with coffee. You're used to drinking a lot of coffee, a lot of pop. You're going to go through the withdrawal. And while you're making the transition into reducing that for your body's going to react to that and you're going to drop weight immediately, right? But it's getting down to that desired weight that you're looking for. So not just doing those little habit changes are really significant in the long term, right? Stop eating fast food, stop eating fatty food, stop the diets, stop the keto, stop the intermittent fasting. All those special, like, fast little diets have a place if you, like, say you've hit a plateau and you need to change it up. I've done that before myself. And I did keto for a month. I did it because I was doing it with a group, a very large group of people, like 1,500 people were doing it. It was like a group. And I dropped 6 pounds. I dropped 9 inches, which is even crazier. But I had no energy. I started napping in the afternoon and I got sick. So I basically removed all the nutrition that I was putting into my body and I just ate like protein and fat and a little bit of vegetables. So sometimes, these things are not conducive for athletes. So try to avoid them. Missing meals is another one. We're going to talk about, like getting too busy, missing your breakfast, missing your lunches and then showing up to working out and you haven't eaten since lunch. It's not going to work. It's going to be a wasted workout. You are not going to have enough energy to put the effort in that you need to improve. So missing meals is a huge one that I see a lot of women do. Is I think that missing meals is going to help them lose weight. Missing meals is going to help you gain weight because your body is going to protect itself by holding on to that weight because it's in starvation mode. You've heard that before. Missing meals is not an option. Always, here's a little tip. Put together, even if you're in your own house, that's an even worse way. If you're in your own house and you're missing meals, there's something wrong there. Like you are just not taking time for yourself. But if you're outside and get yourself a really nice little lunchbox and fill it with all sorts of great snacks that you can pick on during the day, and also a meal for lunch and snacks before you go to your workout. I cannot emphasize that enough. Blood sugar level needs to stay level, to avoid those drops in energy so that you can perform your exercise. Okay. It's useless if you go there depleted and tired and hungry. You are not going to get a good workout, guaranteed. So the next one is sleep. Now, I am going to plug the next episode on the podcast, and that's with my girlfriend, Camille Lawson. She's a hormone specialist, and it is chunked full of juicy information about hormones. Now, guys, if you're listening to this, we are going to do one for men as well. So, this one is particular for women, but we're going to do another one for men and hormones. But stress, if you don't get a good night's sleep, like what you could do that I started doing it a year ago, almost a year, is tracking my sleep just to see what kind of sleep quality I'm getting. I'm not getting obsessed, but then because that then causes a stress, and stress is one of the ones that you want to avoid, because stress is never good. Stress drives your cortisol levels up, and if your cortisol levels are up, your body will never respond to weight loss, no matter what you're doing. So that needs to be, you need to think about that. So getting the proper amount of sleep, good quality sleep, overtraining can cause you to not have proper sleep. Being on your phones before bed can cause you not to have good sleep. So it's a really good idea to get rid of your electronics at least an hour before you go to bed. So you kind of, not de-stress, but decompress from the day. So I just started a job. Okay, I just started a job, as a server, and I absolutely freaking love it and I've done all sorts of shifts, early morning, lunch, and late evening. So late evening, I would get home like 11:30, but it's so close, I actually bike home. It takes about 15 minutes, and in that time, I de-stress. I just relax because it's so nice. It's quiet, it's dark, and I'm just enjoying this whole experience, and it's actually really making me feel really good. Who knew, right? But sleep is a huge one. And I know that you will probably know when you're not getting enough, that you're always tired, you're always cranky, you're always fatigued. And this is a time where, take a couple days to sleep in. Oh my God, it makes you feel so good. I make sure one day a week, which is usually Saturday or Sunday, I sleep in, and I try and get like a good, 8 to 9 hours that night. It's funny because sometimes on a Friday night, I'll go to bed like 9 o'clock, where most weeknights it's like 10:30, and I'll sleep till 8, and nobody messes with me until I get out of bed. Number 3 is the evaluation of your training. So that is, too much. if you're doing too much and you're not giving yourself enough recovery, I see so many people do that. They feel guilty. They have to be doing something all the time. It's not the case. You have to give yourself, your body, the time to recover in order for it to actually increase in strength, increase in productivity. Like all the long endurance rides, well, your body needs some downtime and it's going to make you stronger. Please realize that you can't be going hard all the time without downtime, because and the sleep plays a huge role, because sleep, that's when your body takes the time to recover and rejuvenate and get stronger. If you're not sleeping well, your body will never have that opportunity to do it. So evaluating what you're doing and staying on track. So are you doing too much? Like, is it too much with what you're doing? Did you just take on a really hard job? Are you now taking care of a parent? Like, what's going on? Do you need to, pay attention to your relationship with your husband? You might need to take some downtime, whatever, but are you doing too much? Okay. Number 4, we talked about it, rest. So you see how everything kind of plays on each other. You can't have one without the other. The rest is more important than the training, and you've probably read that somewhere. If you don't have like days off, your body can't rest to get better. So I can't even say how important that is. Like, you can do active recovery, like do something like, a really chill ride that's not pushing you, like elevating your heart rate, a walk or like yoga, or, something that's not like intensively pushing your body. Those are good active recovery days, like maybe a hike or something that you aren't currently training in. And here's a bonus one. Start lifting weights. Lifting weights burns fat. And that's another great way to make it a full package. You've got your eating down, your sleep, you're evaluating your training. Is it too much? Maybe you need to add a little bit more, and your rest. So with that, I hope that helps you out. As mentioned, if you need a second opinion on what you're doing, please reach out to me. I will be more than happy to take a look at what you're doing. And that's what I do. Sometimes it is about asking for help and just having somebody look at what you're doing. So have a great day. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, follow the YouTube channel, put out a review. And also you can go for some downloadables on buymeacoffee.com/secret saddle pod. That would be super cool. I've got a couple free downloads. I'm going to be adding more there. So you can go and grab your downloadable and buy me a coffee. Yay. Oh, here's something I wanted to mention. The last podcast that I did on Allison Jackson, I messaged her, because I was reading that article about her leaving cycling to become a TikTok influencer. And it looked pretty recent because it just popped up on my feed. And it also just seemed to be pretty timely because of all the attention she's getting on some of her TikToks and reels. But she's like, oh my God, that's such a April Fool's joke. I'm like, but it's not April. Anyways, so who knows? Anyways, have an amazing day. We'll see you on the next podcast. Take care, guys. Hey friends, thank you for enjoying this podcast episode. I'd love to invite you to visit our new and exciting page on buymeacoffee.com/Secret Saddle Pod to check out some cool downloadables. And if you are so inclined to supporting the podcast with the purchase of a coffee would be greatly appreciated in helping keep the podcast going. Also, providing a separate rating and review on your favorite platform with any thoughts about the podcast are hugely helpful and appreciated. Thank you so much and have yourself an amazing day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the Secrets from the Saddle podcast, learning more about sighting people, places, and things that make cycling such an exciting sport. I am so glad you stopped by today. Please leave me a review if you feel so moved to do so. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you could take 1 second to share this episode with someone you think would enjoy it, I would be forever grateful. Also, if you could please leave me a review if you feel so moved by going to iTunes and leaving me an honest thought and an honest comment, telling me what you think, and most importantly, tell me what you'd like to hear more of. It would really help me to bring more great, inspiring cycling stories to you. Until then, have an amazing day. Make sure you ride your bike. And don't forget to visit my YouTube channel if you'd like to see the full version of this podcast live.